Hello there, all my wicked warriors. It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It's time for another action-packed episode of the Wicked Wally webcast, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. The Wicked Wally webcast, soon to be the best hard rock, heavy metal show on the planet. Oh my God, I am excited for tonight's episode. Let's see, we got 4 people tuned in already so far. Thanks for tuning in. It's going to be a great episode tonight, and I'm actually super stoked for tonight. And the reason for that is if the year of 2020 has taught me anything, is that when you have lemons, you got to make lemonade. You got to roll with the punches, and that's what we're doing tonight. If you tuned in the past couple episodes, you may realize that this is not the originally planned plan for this episode. So we kind of had to come up with a last-minute plan, and honestly, I think it turned out even better than I could anticipate. Tonight we are going to talk about some really cool things. I do have a co-host in the wing here waiting to join. He'll be on here shortly. Before we do that, what are we going to talk about tonight? Why am I so excited? Because this is episode number 13. Unlucky number 13. And we're calling this episode Dumpster Fire 2020 or Happy Dumpster 2021. So, yeah, this episode is going to be interesting tonight. We're going to talk about a bunch of things. We're going to get into some news for tonight. There's a lot of heavy metal news going on right now, and we're going to chat about that. Also, whoever's in the chat, I want to hear your opinions, your thoughts, your views, things that you liked about 2020, didn't like about 2020, and things you're looking forward to in 2021 as well. I want to hear what your thoughts are. And we're going to talk about some cool news. Well, it's not some cool news. Some downers. we're going to talk about, and we're going to chat about things that happened in 2020 that were good, that were bad, and what we're looking forward to in 2021. We're going to end off this thing with a positive note because that's what we need right now. There are some negativity. There's some negative things going on right now. We're going to chat about it, but we are going to try to our best to have a positive spin on things because, man, this has been quite a year for a lot of people. Anyway, without further ado, I have my co-host for tonight, Vito. Make sure you're unmuted, my friend. Vito, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you, Mr. Wally?
Yeah, pretty good. Your energy level just lowered a little bit, and and your eyes got a little bit smaller. Is there a reason for that?
No.
I think there might be.
I'm just having a good time over here.
Got some more people watching in the chat. So yeah, just tuning in. We're going to talk about 2020. We're talking about 2021. We're talking about some crazy stuff in heavy metal news tonight. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Some fun and engaging. Maybe some sad stuff too we're going to talk about as well. But that's just the reality of the world we're living in right now. But we'll end it with a positive note. We'll put a positive spin. So yeah, Vito, I have to introduce our guest for tonight. There we go. 2020. Hi, 2020. Woo! Welcome to the show. Dumpster Fire. Yeah, welcome to the show, 2020. I feel like we're still in 2020. It's almost like the beginning of January has been just as dumpster fiery as the rest of the last year has been. I don't think we're quite out of that yet, but again, there's some positive things we can look forward to. So I'll pull you up there. There you go, Vito. Vito, the Italian stallion. Oh, I like the shirt tonight. Woodhawk. Ooh, got the guns. The gun show. You mentioned you had a workout before the show. That's good because we got a lot of stuff to chat about, good and bad. It's good you got some aggression out before the show. But I want to hear some of that on the show too. So we're gonna get right into it. We don't have a guest tonight. It's just Vito and I shooting this shit. And honestly, there's no one better I would want to shoot the shit with. So we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna talk about some heavy metal news. We got 3 big stories to talk about. 2 of them are a little bit older, but we want to give our spin on it with some new updates. And there's a brand new story, just hit metal news, I think yesterday. So we're gonna chat about that. All right, it's time for some news. All right, so for news, the first news item we are going to talk about, I'm going to pull this up on the screen here, is Marco Hietala leaves Nightwish. Did you hear about this, Vito?
Yeah, because you sent it to me.
That's right. For me personally, this was heartbreaking when I heard the news about this. This just dropped that he's left the band. For me, he was such a big part of this iteration of Nightwish that to hear that he left was so sad. My favorite Nightwish song actually doesn't involve any of the female vocalists that were involved. It was While Your Lips Are Still Red. Do you know that track, Vito?
I think I've heard it for sure.
Yeah, it's not even really a metal song. It's more sweet, but I just love that song. I got to hear him sing it live. He wrote the lyrics for that song, and I actually teared. I had a man tear, or two from listening to that song because it was so beautiful to hear him sing the song live. And like I said, I think he's a big part of the songwriting. Him and Tomas Holpanien was the keyboardist, which is kind of the guy who started Nightwish. Started Nightwish from the beginning. I just found he was a big part of it. So just to hear he's the bass player, but he did lots of the songwriting. He's a multi-instrumentalist. To hear he's leaving the band is really sad. And the reason he's leaving is he cites delusion and chronic depression for his surprise decision to quit the band. That sucks, man. Like, it really, really blows. The article I'm referring to, by the way, is Metal Hammer or loudersound.com, so you can go check that out for yourself as well. They got a lot of great articles on there, and it's all over metal news right now. So he had an impassionate social media post saying, "Dear people, I'm leaving Nightwish and my public life." So he had enough. He had enough of the public life. And dear people, I'm leaving Nightwish and public life. He announced he's become disillusioned with the music industry. For quite a few years now, I haven't been able to feel validated by this life. We have been streaming. We have streaming company big guns demanding 9 to 5 work from artists of inspiration, while unfairly sharing the profits. Even amongst the artists, we are the banana republic of the music industry. Biggest tour promoters squeeze percentages even from our merchandise while paying dividends to the Middle East. Apparently, some theocracies can take the money from the music that would get you beheaded or jailed there without appearing as hypocrites. Just a couple of examples here. The past year forced me to stay home and think. Now, that's something... I mean, I think that's something other that the dumpster fire over here is... I mean, that's something true. I mean, it gives you... Like, we've all had a lot of time to sit home and think. I've heard like divorces, stuff like that going on, right? Because people have more time to spend with, they're at home with these people that they've started lives with, and maybe it didn't work out so well. It's not working out so well.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Luckily for me, I actually got closer with my partner. So luckily it was the opposite that happened for me. But of course, like you're gonna stop and you're gonna take assessment of what's around you when you have time just to sit around and think about what's going on. So he said, "Go ahead, Vito. Go ahead, buddy."
Oh no, I'm not going to spoil the news because you're about to read it. I like what he's doing.
Right. This past year forced me to stay home and think, and I found myself very disillusioned about these and a lot of things. I found out that I am in need of that validation. I found out that I'm in need of that validation. For me to write, sing, and play, I need to find some new reasons and inspirations. My warden, so to speak. You know what? He has had a history with depression. It's even in my book that I'm a chronic depressive. It's dangerous for me and the people around me if I continue. Some of the thoughts a while back were dark. Don't worry, I'm fine. I have 2 sons, a wife, the rest of the family, friends, a dog, lots of love, and I don't think that I'll be gone for good. So there is a positive. I think every single one of these stories, Vito, our mission for tonight, everything we talk about, no matter what, has to have some kind of positive spin. How would you spin this? I have an idea how I would spin this into a positive, because it's sad. It's sad he's leaving Nightwish. I'm sad he's a big part of that band. But
so in the article I read, I don't know if it mentions it in this one, but he's literally not taking calls for the next year. He's like, no, nice. I'm done. That's nice. It. So I'm curious to see, after a year of like, I'm not going to say isolation, but a year of no outside distractions.
Right.
What
he comes up with. Yeah. So As I mentioned earlier, we got 7 viewers right now. Folks, who I have the chat up here. I haven't seen any chat messages yet, but I want to hear what you think about this article. If you're a Nightwish fan, what do you think of Marco leaving the band? Like I said, one of my favorite tracks is just him doing this more somber, non-metal songs, and he was the co-writer of that track. So, and he's an multi-instrumentalist. He's very talented. So, if he wants to stay out of the public life, great. If you're sick of touring, if you're sick of all that shit, you know, if it's just you enjoyed it when you were younger, but now it's just you're disillusioned with it, you're not enjoying it anymore, it's not fun anymore, and you know, and you can live and you're not broke, you know, you can live your life. Go for it, like, you know, do what's good for you. And he said he'll be back. So we may not get a tour, we may not get music videos, may not get interviews, but we might get music, and we might get some really good music. And that's the positive spin of this, is he's going to do something when he feels like it, but for because he loves it, not because he's assigned, not because of a record label, not because of some deadline he needs to meet to release an album, so many albums in so much period of time. I don't know if contracts still exist like that in the record industry, but I'm sure they do. I'm almost positive they would. So anyway, that's my thoughts. I'm really passionate about this, as you can tell, because I actually really I love this band, and I'm a big fan of Marco and his work. So,
what venue did you see them in? Or like what was it?
Oh, Mac Hall. When I saw them play, it was Mac Hall. Yeah, it was Mac Hall. McEwen Hall here in Calgary. Big ballroom, that big ballroom in Mac Hall. So it was just it was just like I said, I cried up. I teared up when they sang, because I didn't think they were going to sing that song, because there's no female vocals in that at all. Like, they don't have a female vocalist. It's not one of, like, you don't instantly think of it as a Nightwish song, because they actually wrote that track for a Finnish film, Lieska, I think is how you say it. The music video is great, by the way. The music video is fantastic. It's just clips from the movie and with them singing and walking around, but it's actually a really touching music video. So yeah, big news, leaving Nightwish, but yeah, I'm excited to hear what is coming up next. The chat's been quiet. I think it's been quiet. I don't see anything here. Chat's been quiet. 7 people are watching. If you have any opinions on Marco leaving Nightwish, I want to hear it. We will move. If you have anything else to add, Vito, because you looked into this too, let me know. Otherwise, I will pop over to our next story, our next news item. Vito?
Am I the news?
Yeah, I'm asking you a question. Did you? Oh, you should. Did you smoke up before the show? You should not have done that, my friend.
I was like looking at a cookie. That's why I zoned out.
It's you and I, buddy. You have to be in the zone. You have to be in the zone. We just lost a viewer, dude.
No, that is not happening again.
Okay.
What was the question? It was
if you have anything else to add regarding that story, or or else I'm going to move on.
No, I think I said what I was feeling. I think there's going to be some cool music after this, especially with no outside distractions.
Right.
So it's going to be nice. I think we'll see him again one day.
I think so too. Diane says in the chat, just heard that David Hasselhoff is having an auction of all of his personal things. That's some news. There you go.
It'd be funny if they like sold his Speedo or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he broke? Maybe. I know he's on Cameo right now. I know he's on Cameo. Yeah. So thanks for that, Diane. Interesting tidbit about David Hasselhoff. Actually, he has a metal song that just came out. I don't know if we can play it and not get dinged for it, but let me see if I can find that really quickly. David Hasselhoff has a metal song that just came out.
I heard he's still popular in Germany.
He is still popular in Germany. Yeah, actually, it's a German band that did this song with him. If anybody's heard of this, we'll do a quick side. I'm gonna miss his voice. I heard someone suggest. Nathan. Oh, yeah. Nathan's talking about... Thanks for that, Nathan. A comment from Nathan from YouTube. He's talking about Marco, and he says, I'm going to miss his voice, Marco's voice. I heard someone suggest ICS Vortex would be a good replacement. ICS Vortex. I'm going to look... ICS Vortex. Oh, Norwegian musician. ICS Vortex. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Yes. This is Vortex. Yeah, he's a vocalist of the similarly named band ICS Vortex. I actually don't doom metal band. I actually don't know. Avant-garde metal band. The vocalist of the similarly named band ICS Avant-garde metal band. Okay, actually, you know what? I have to check out some ICS Vortex after that. Thank you, Nathan, in the chat. We got some good. We got some solid metalheads in the chat right now.
Nice.
Would be a good replacement. Awesome. That would be really cool. We're definitely going to have to check that out. And then the metal song. Actually, do you want to look that up, Vito, while I'm pulling up the next news story? Actually, go. No, that's okay.
No.
That's okay.
I forgot what I was looking up. ICS Vortex.
No. David Hasselhoff. I'm curious what David Hasselhoff's metal song is. Do you got it?
No.
He made a metal song. Get a first look here. Q-Stack. Yeah. Through the Night it's called. Yeah. Q-Stack is the band from Germany. Q-Stack, and it's Through the Night. We're not going to actually... Yeah, Through the Night. I see it now. Yeah, we won't play it because I'm pretty sure we'll get dinged for it. But I'll show an image from it. I can show a little bit of it. Yeah, there we go. And there he is in the distance.
Oh my god.
Oh, there he is singing. Amazing. Yeah, it's very, very cheesy. Very. There he is. There he is. Heavy metal.
Good for his age.
Huh? He's looking damn good for his age. Yeah, and he's
probably on a bit of juice, but hey, we all need it at that age.
Little TRT maybe, testosterone replacement therapy there. All right, so we're talking news. I'm going to go on to the next news story. This one's probably going to ruffle some feathers. I apologize in advance for the folks watching right now. Oh, Jason's in the chat. Thanks, Jay. He says, "Don't mess with the Hoff." Yeah, it's "Don't hassle the Hoff." Actually, you say don't hassle the Hoff. That's what you say about David Hasselhoff. So yeah, he's got that metal song. I recommend going to check it out. It's not bad. It's not bad. I actually liked his song he did for a movie called Kung Fury a bit better. So
I've seen that on
there. Fail says Jason. Yeah, don't mess with the Hoff. Yeah, it's don't hassle the Hoff. Awesome. Even yeah. Okay, so next news story. More stuff in the news. This news story came out a little while ago, but there's been a recent update with it and a Canadian take on it that I wanted. That's the reason why I still want to talk about it tonight. And that is, yes, have you seen this power metal guitarist? So the Ice Earth guitarist John Schaefer, and if you're a metalhead, you've likely heard of this story already. This came up in a news feed somewhere, or you saw it on Facebook or whatever, but we have a little bit more of an update coming up on this after this story. But so now the FBI want to speak to Ice Earth guitarist John Schaefer after this week's ruckus at the Capitol building. So Ice Earth, very popular, very well known. Jason says, "Fuck that guy." I agree. That's my political commentary on this. I'm not gonna get super political on it. Well, maybe a little bit, but as things are heating up enough for John Schaefer, the FBI have announced that they want to find the veteran power metal guitarist and would-be toppler of democracy. So the FBI have listed 52-year-old Schaefer on the seeking information section on their website for his alleged part in storming the U.S. Capitol building. Yeah, so there's photos of him amongst the angry mob. Yeah, and then there's a posting here, and there's a photo of him right there. Here's the official seeking information violence at the United States Capitol. So you got a photo of him there. Details. We don't really need any. If you haven't heard of this yet, you've been in a hole. You've been hiding in a hole somewhere. You haven't turned on the television or the radio or anything. If you haven't heard of what happened at the U.S. Capitol, I have some thoughts. Vito, I'm going to turn over to you for a bit here, dude. We'll pull up the dumpster fire for this one because I think it's pretty appropriate for this story. The 2020, even though it's 2021, this is a 2020 dumpster is still. I think the fire, it's still smoldering.
Still smoldered, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I purposely avoided this article. So I'm just so sick of hearing all this crap from the US. But
it is hard to listen to.
It's kind of wild. It's like, dude, you're a pretty successful guy.
Yeah.
You're a pretty wicked band. and you're gonna like throw it away if we're doing some stupid shit like that. That's just my opinion.
Right, yeah, that's a good way to look at it from the music side of things. I mean, overall, this craziness in the U.S. I'm not big into politics, and you're going to find that if you watch this show, I may occasionally talk about something political because it's about a song or it's in the news. I'm not a hugely political guy, but at the same time, politics, this stuff affects everybody. There's so much division. It seems like right now, especially in the United States, it's seeping its way even into Canada, which is really scary. And I've always been a person about bringing people together. Nathan says that was a great show. It sounds like he was at the same Nightwish show there, Nathan. Thank you. But anyway, so I want to bring people together. That's the whole point of doing a show like this, talking about music, talking about art, talking about businesses that are related to the music scene, stuff that just brings people together. This division is just crazy already. I think I'm one of the few people that, not few people, actually, if you're out there and you do the same thing, I want to know. It's just people chatting in the chat right now. People are going to watch this thing, comment, whether it's on YouTube or wherever you want to hear, comment on this video and let me know whether or not you also keep weird opinions and stuff like that on your Facebook page. A lot of people go on these binges, on these purges, these Facebook purges, and they're on social media and they get rid of all these people, say from their past, or that say stupid things, or they don't watch the videos from the people that say ignorant things. I actually leave all that there so I know it exists. Because the problem is I think that's what started for a lot of these folks. A lot of these folks are in their own echo chamber, right? We're in a pandemic right now. It raised the temperature in general in people. It increased issues with mental health, as Marco talked about, and now people are like on fire. Diane says he has the munchies too. I think she's talking about you, Vito.
Yeah, I'm trying not to eat. That's rude. But I'll have a sip of water.
Okay. What was I saying? That was actually a great comment. I like that, Diane. Thank you. Like I was saying, division. Yeah. So it's just seeing those different points of view. I think a lot of people are in their own little echo chamber. So it's easy to be like, oh, why are these people so radicalized? Why are they so stupid? Why are they doing such a stupid thing? And then to me it is. But why are they doing this? It's because they're getting fed this information, and they have their own biases that they're feeding into over and over again. They're not looking at the other side and realizing, okay, this is why the other side doesn't believe what I believe. This is why they think this way. This is not happening. I don't think a lot of, I don't know. Am I crazy? Am I crazy, Vito, to kind
of the same way? I like to leave it there just to see, like, it's like sometimes people you wouldn't think,
right? Yes,
would like have a certain opinion. Like, what?
Right.
Really? That's interesting. You kind of get to know people a little better on that. But I've been keeping off all social media lately. Like, it's so toxic. I feel like the Nightwish guy sometimes, like, it's just like, want to like escape from everyone, especially social media. It's bad news bears all the time.
Right. And then going back to, Nathan made a comment in the chat about the replacement for Marco, potential replacement. He's from Borgnager. I'm not saying that right. Arcturus, etc. So he's a very popular. Nightwish will continue. It won't die with Marco. Nightwish won't. It's just such a big established brand already, if anything. And I mean as I mentioned earlier, Tomas Holopanyan is the keyboardist who started the whole thing and is really involved in the songwriting as well. So I'm sure he's still there. It's still gonna continue. But I know, any opinions in the chat regarding this, or maybe everyone's just sick of hearing about this already. They just don't even want to talk about it, which is fairly understandable. But yeah, you know what? Catch them, find them. these people, like this is an illegal act, and it should be treated that way. If it was a peaceful protest, if people were outside causing a ruckus outside and there wasn't violence, then I think it'd be different. Then I would think of this much differently. I wouldn't agree with it still, but I wouldn't have take such issue with it for a guy who's not that political. So the update to this, though, that I found a story about Stu Block. Now, do you know who Stu Block is, Vito?
Nope.
He's the lead vocalist of Ice Earth. He's the currently vocalist of Ice Earth, and actually Stu Block is a Canadian. He is a Canadian. He was Canadian born. He's from Vancouver, BC. He was for a number of years the lead vocalist of Into Eternity. So not the original vocalist, but he was a very prominent vocalist for Into Eternity from Regina, Saskatchewan. So very popular band out of Saskatchewan, Into Eternity. One of my faves. So yeah, Stu. Stu left Into Eternity. He went to Iced Earth. He's been with them for a couple of years now. And the beginning of the article. This is interesting because I read this article thinking like, oh, this is going to be a non-article. There's nothing interesting here. Stu's just going to say this is dumb, right? That's all it's going to be. Stu's just going to say this is stupid, right? Stu said this is stupid. Stupid. Anyway, so here it says, I absolutely do not support anything that the protester was involved in during the Capitol Hill riot. But the reason this is actually even a story, and I thought, why is this even a story? Why is this even a story? Well, okay, I get it. Because during the pro-Donald Trump riot in Capitol Hill, he went to his Facebook page saying, and he's since deleted this post, "Oh, it's happening. History in the making. Sending love to my friends in the U.S. and all over the world." Wow.
Oh, this changes a little bit.
Okay, there we go. Interesting indeed. Yeah, this adds a little level to it. And Stu, I've been a fan of Stu's for a while. I've met him in person a couple of times. He seems like a really nice dude. But this is an interesting thing to post. When a follower asked if he was condemning what happened, Block responded, "And where in my statement would you get that impression?"
I feel like the other statement, the title of the article is what the publicist wanted him to say, not what he wanted to say.
Where he retracts what he said. So yeah. And he's from Vancouver, BC originally, but yeah. So in the last few days, the news outlets published more and more videos and testimonials from the Capitol Hill riot, including widely circulated photo of Ice Earth guitarist John Schaefer inside the Capitol building, with some of them accusing Block of secretly backing last week's rioters. So earlier, Block released a personal statement via social media clarifying his position on last week's events. Clarifying. That he does not condone or support any acts of violence or anything else that the protesters or riots were involved in on January 6th. Block wrote, "First, I want to thank everyone for the amazing support you have shown. Unfortunately, it has come to my attention in the recent days about a screenshot someone made. There were some very obsessive, hateful people posting the screenshot that I did have to remove from my social media." Okay. I do want to extend my apologies for the poor way I worded two Facebook posts January the 6th. I'm human and I make mistakes. My wording was absolutely misunderstood and not properly thought out on my part, and I know people and the media interpret things differently. So it's the media's fault for what he said.
Isn't he a lead singer of a band? Like, doesn't he write songs? How would he mess up? You know what I mean? If you can write a song, I'm pretty sure you could write a Facebook post.
Yeah,
he knew what he was saying.
He does, yeah. He's a lyric. Yeah, he writes lyrics as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't believe it.
I mean, to be honestly, a lot of the songs are written for him though. He has contributed to writing vocals, but he actually in Ice Earth and in Into Eternity, he did not write most of the lyrics. Those were done by someone else in the band. Yeah, some stuff that I know some things. Anyway, at that moment I saw. Okay, so he says, at that moment I saw a historical thing happen that perhaps would cause divide amongst people everywhere. So I sent love out to everyone as well. Okay, okay. So he's saying he sent love to everybody. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's happening. History in the making. Sending my love to my friends in the U.S. all over the world. Oh, okay, you know what? There is a different way to interpret that statement. But when a follower asked if he was condemning what happened, Block responded, "And where would in my statement where you get that impression?" That's hard to interpret differently. It's pretty easy to interpret if you read this first line again and you really think like, okay, oh, it's happening. Anything. What's happening? Anything. And Diane's still talking about David Hasselhoff in the chat. She's saying that he's going to be he's our guest. He should be our guest one time. That'd be awesome to get David Hasselhoff on here. That would be amazing.
Do a cameo for the Wicked Wally webcast.
We should get him to do a cameo. That would be great. Yes. Yeah, we should get him to do a cameo. The Hoff is giving his profits from his auction to charities. Okay. So it's not to make money. It's not to. It's actually to support people, which is actually awesome. You got to think by now that guy's got a lot of money. So that makes sense. He's helping people. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for that, Diane. I mean, I like David Hasselhoff. He's an entertaining fellow. Anyway, back to the news article because I don't think he was involved in the protests at all. I don't think not protests, siege, I should say. Protest is kind of I think downplaying it a little bit. It was a violent act.
5 people died, dude. Like that's such bullshit.
It was nuts. But anyway, so I won't keep. You can go read the story for yourself. This particular Blabbermouth is where I was reading this particular article, so you can go yourself, check it out. What's your opinion? What's your thoughts? Again, folks who are watching right now, what do you think? Do you think Stu Block was just misinterpreted? What are your opinions on it? Also, if you're watching this at a later time, you want to know what you think in the chat. So what do you think about it? I don't know. I think he was kind of supporting it. I think maybe in hindsight though, he looked back and like, okay, this was actually bad. People got hurt. Maybe he changed his mind on it. Maybe at first they're like, oh, that's so metal. It's so metal taking on the Capitol. But then you're like, oh wait, they're actually like screwing with democracy and like our very way of life. I say we're Canadian, but still, like this is stuff happens in the U.S. It affects us too. Yeah, dude. All right, I think we beat that into the ground. But one more thing, this is going to be here. I got to switch the state here. Here's a meme created actually by Calgary's very own Ravenous, Rav from Ravenous. It's a kind of a folky power metal, speed metal band from Calgary, Alberta. Freaking phenomenal band. Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah. I was going to show you that next, actually. I'll show that in a second. You're very perceptive, Vito. So anyway, we have John over here, John Schaefer over here, and then Joe Biden over here. And this is the classic meme. This is the cat. Yeah, the cat. And this is just perfect. Perfectly done. Excellent, Rav. I'm going to give you full credit for this. This is a excellent meme. It should be. It should make its rounds. I'm surprised if it's not on Reddit. You should put it on Reddit, and it'll just flow through the internet. But you have to be. I guess you have to be a metalhead. Even if you're not a metalhead, though, it's a protester. It's one of the popular images from the protest, and it's a guy, right? So even if you're not, it still works on that level. But speaking of Ravenous, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. There's some stuff we're looking forward to I have one more news article after this, but in 2021, I've got some stuff I'm looking forward to. One of those is the fact that Ravenous announced here hungry holidays to our warriors around the world. 2020 has fueled a new album driven by the insanity of isolation. Yeah, it's like the theme for tonight, the dumpster fire theme for tonight. The constant drinking and being laid off, and the restless breakneck speeds of wanting to get the hell out of our homes. We look forward to showing you what we've created and hope to see you roar out your hunger on the road in 2021. Stay hungry, holidays. Stay hungry, Ravenous. You have to read it like that. It's an absolute must. So. And with that, they sold this design right here. Actually, here, I'll put the room cam on. There we go. You can see me. I actually bought the shirt. It didn't quite come in time for Christmas, though, but I'll show you guys.
Ooh, look at that.
It's really nice, actually. It's really nice, actually. So I'm just excited because they have new music coming out, and their Eat the Fallen CD that they released. I have two versions of it: the original and the Japanese version of it.
So cool,
because they have a Japanese special release with some bonus tracks on there. Yes, I like to support independent music and lesser known bands and my local scene. And yes, they're from Calgary, same place that we're from. But easily on my top 50 albums ever.
Dude, it's solid. And it flows so nice. I play it front to back at least once a week.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I listen to it every single month. It gets at least a spin. When I first got the album, it didn't leave my car forever, and I was listening to it over and over again. I love, and their music gets stuck in your head. So that's whoever's watching this. If you've never heard of Ravenous, go check them out. Ravenous Eternal Hunger is how you probably find them. They're up on Spotify. They're on. You can find them on Bandcamp. Bandcamp is better if you want to support them. But just check them out on Spotify. Spend some money on them on Bandcamp. You won't regret it.
They're the booty shorts.
And buy the booty shorts. Yeah, we can actually pull that up. Hold on. Ravenous.
They have the best merch. They have pretty good merch. And there was like an Instagram thing happening for a while where everyone who bought those booty shorts took photos of them. There was like a lot of hairy dudes that bought them. It was pretty funny.
Actually, when we recently had Juliet Ruin from Edmonton on the show, and their drummer, I forget his name right now, but their drummer had all these like kind of sexy photos wearing the shorts. Do you remember that from that episode? That was a damn good episode. They were awesome. But yeah, look, I mean, Eat the Fallen CD. So here we're advertising for Ravenous right now. The coffee mug, ooh, sold out. Oh, they have so much sold out. Like everything's sold out. Everything's sold out.
Oh, it would be cool to get a onesie.
Oh, that would be so cool to get a onesie. Oh, I gotta get him to print some more.
Yeah.
And there's a bib.
Everything's sold out. That's
great. My God. Yeah, everything's sold out. One, the music's incredible, so it sells itself, that's number one. Number two, their social media game is on frickin' point. It is so well done. Smart. Their social media. That's why they're so good. So I'm skipping ahead. That's something I'm looking forward to. We kind of sort of flowed from Stu Block from Iced Earth and protests to the meme to Ravenous. But I want to talk about that now because I figured it all kind of flows together. So. Mm-hmm. All right, and we have one last news story for tonight, and this is a tough one. This is another a positive spin. So wait, hold on. What was our positive spin on the last news article, Vito?
Yeah, I can't think of one.
Yeah. Oh, Nathan actually has a comment on this. For John Schaefer, this is what can happen when people go all the way down the conspiracy rabbit hole. I know a couple of people that seem like they're going down this path. It's sad.
It's sad.
Yeah, and that's what I was alluding to earlier as well. Is it's so easy to go. It's so easy for people, and I mean, I can't claim to be that I'd be immune to it, but I hopefully have been so far, but I hope to keep an open mind and to not get sucked into crazy conspiracies and question things. Be skeptical. It's so important in life to be skeptical. You have to believe in something, but you have to be a skeptic as well. And Russell says hi, Wally. Hi, Russell. Thanks for joining. We didn't say hi for a while there. Tonight we're talking about the dumpster fire of 2020. It wasn't all bad, thankfully for some people, but we're talking about 2020. We're covering some news articles right now, and then we're going to talk about what we are looking forward to the most in 2021. We kind of alluded to that a little bit already, and we're going to look back on 2020 and some of the good times in 2020 as well, some positive things. So we're going to try to do a positive spin on this whole siege thing. I don't know. I guess the positive spin might be that people will maybe start taking this seriously, because I think for a while they saw these supporters and they thought there's just a bunch of crazy people and they're not us and it's not going to affect me. And do you know what I mean? Like, and again, thinking of them as crazy people and not humans who've been influenced and who've had, who've been submerged in the rabbit hole, been sunken in the rabbit hole, like Nathan said. They're you can't instantly think you're 100% better than them because you don't know what led them to this path. Maybe, so it's just an interesting point. Even if you know it's insanely wrong what they're doing. But like I said, anyway, so that's what we're talking about tonight. It's been fun so far. So next news article, this one, Vito, I know is going to hit you a little bit because I saw something you posted on social media recently. This story broke. This is old news already, but I wanted to talk about it on here, and I wanted to talk about it with you especially because I saw your post that you posted online. Alexi Laiho, frontman of Finnish metal giants Children of Bodom, dead at 41 years old. This is a sad one. I don't know how on earth we're going to make anything positive out of this story because he was only 41 years old.
Yeah, I mean, the positive thing is all like the good music he made, and yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna and I guess at least he did what he loved. At least he got to do what he loved. And, and I'm sure a lot of folks have already heard about this. It just mentions here, the cause of death isn't really 100% known, but he's had health issues, long-term health issues for the past several years, maybe even longer. And he died from his health issues. So it's really sad. 41 years old, man. That's not old at all, man. I'm not far from that myself. So that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Jason says that's not even a fair question to ask Vito. Come on, man. Give the guy a break. Oh, the positive regarding the news story, I think, is what he meant about the siege. I know that's not I know it's not a fair question. And then Nathan is clarifying backpedaling. Yeah, backpedaling. The Ice Earth, when Stu Block was talking, he wasn't clarifying. He was backpedaling. That's Nathan's opinion. That's a pretty solid opinion on that. Good chats. Thanks everyone's in the chat. Great messages. Even stuff about David Hasselhoff because he released a metal song recently, so I was able to tie that in even too. So thanks for all that. But yeah, it's super sad. I mean, I love this band. I honestly remember a time where when I was younger and I liked Children of Bodom, I liked In Flames, there's a number of bands I liked, and people's like, who do you listen to? Who do you like in metal? And I would mention Children of Bodom, and I get funny looks. Like from snobby metalheads, you know what I mean? And thankfully, none of that's happening as far as I can see. Everyone's showing love. Everyone is saying they miss him, and they miss they're sad he's gone, and they love the music. There's lots of positive from people. Do you know what I mean? Positive from people. There's none of that negativity. Did you ever experience that before? People you like Children of Bodom? You know?
I think once I was I started listening to them when I was 15. I think it was the first real metal album I ever bought, and it was at a secondhand record store.
Right, you said you have a post you shared from 9 years ago on your Facebook wall recently, and you said your post from 9 years ago was listening to Children of Bodom brings back insane amounts of memories. What kind of memories does listening to their music bring to you, man?
Oh man, when I first got my car,
and we want to hear you in the chat too. What are your Children of Bodom memories? What are your thoughts on the band?
Back in the day when I first got my first car, everyone had sound systems, and they'd listen to hip hop, right?
Okay.
But I loved cranking my subs and listening to the crazy double kick on Bodom, it would just shake the car. We would just drive around blasting Children of Bodom all the time.
Nice.
And not all, a lot of the time, but it was one of my first ever metal bands. It was what got me into metal. So that was that kind of hit me.
Right. Maybe that's what I experienced, because they're catchy. Their music's catchy. It's absolutely very catchy. It's earwormy. It's not super heavy. It's not insanely heavy, but it's got heavy elements in it, and it's fast. It's very fast, which that's pretty freaking cool. Yeah,
I loved it.
Okay, now hold on. This is gonna be interesting for you, Vito. This is something I was explaining to last night to my partner who this person was and why it was sad they passed away, and I even played some music for her as well because she's just getting into metal because of me. So I was explaining this to her who this guy was, and it's sad that he passed away. And then I'm like, he was 41, and I'm thinking how old I am. And I'm thinking to myself, this is probably going to blow your mind because you probably didn't realize it, but maybe you did. Okay, so he's 41. Children of Bodom was formed in 1993.
Dude, he was young.
So they were originally called In Earth, but the same lineup that started that when they but then as soon as they released their first album, they changed their band name, right?
Yeah,
so Alexei would have been 14 years old when the band formed. Okay, now their first album, Something Wild, from 1998, signed with Nuclear Blast Records. The album was a hit. 19 years old.
Dude. That's wild. Good for him.
Yeah.
It was like half his life was just music. More than half his life.
Oh, Nathan's saying there's about a 5 to 10 minute lag when you get these comments. I'm sorry if there is. That's the reality of technology. I really apologize, but we will get to the comments once they come up. Sometimes it's my lag too, though. By the way, sometimes I don't read them right away, just because I'm focusing on what we're talking about. But there might be a bit of a lag there. So 19 years old when they released Something Wild. Hatebreeder, which is considered by some their second best ever album, was in 1999. He was 20 years old. And then at the age of 21 years old, the year later, their third album, they released Follow the Reaper. That's in 2000. That's considered by most people their best ever album. So by 21 years old, 3 albums, and the best album they've released ever, apparently. You know, from most people's opinions. I think so too. At 21 years old,
I could barely tie my shoes at 21.
So he did go too soon. 41 is young. It is sad. It is. We could have gotten even more cool music, but at the same time, Jay says, "I bet it's Wally's leg." It's probably my mental lag from reading the comments. Yes, correct. Correct. I'm pretty sure it comes up not too bad. It's just my leg. Plus, I got this thing I got to scroll every time for some reason. I think I messed something up, but that's okay. I will still get to your comments, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. So yeah, I mean, it's sad he left, but the positive is we did get some really amazing music. The world did. He probably influenced a ton of artists, a ton of people in his short period of time. I mean, he had multiple decades of a at 41 years old. He had multiple decades of a music career, not just a music as a musician, but as a career musician with a influential band, a huge band, a well-known band, a world famous band. So it's sad, but at the same time, it's that's the positive we can take from it, is what he was able to achieve and do in the short time he was here. So.
This is true.
2020. It's not even. Oh my god. I don't feel like it's over yet either. All right, folks. So that is all we have for news for tonight. That took up a good chunk of the show, but I think we had a lot to talk about. Here, we're going to pull back up our guest 2020. So that was some downers. I want to talk about some positive things. The last part of the show is going to be pretty cool too. We're going to look back on 2020 again, but the positive things. Let's take a look at what we're looking forward to in 2021. So these are some things. If you're watching the show, if you're listening to the show, these are some albums, some things coming up this year. You might want to keep your ears and eyes peeled for as well, because I'm excited for it. There's stuff that Vito's excited for as well. So we're going to talk about that. So what are we looking forward to in 2021 here? Let's pull up our new guest here. 2021. There we go. There's 2021. There we go. There's 2021. What do you think of our guest, Vito?
A little more colorful.
There you go. So it's still a dumpster, but it's filled with balloons. It's happy balloons. Here's 2021, our guest 2021 for tonight. So yeah, I want to chat about Things we're looking forward to. So I mentioned earlier the new Ravenous album. That's the first thing on my list. I'm definitely looking forward to them releasing some new music because I absolutely freaking loved Eat the Fallen. Amazing album. There's a new Monolith EP coming out.
I've seen that, yeah.
A Monolith new EP coming out. So if folks haven't heard of a Monolith, members of the Devin Townsend Project, ex-members of the Devin Townsend Project, members of Threat Signal, vocalists from Threat Signal, Fear Factory members, all got together and made this like super group, sort of like this like almost like ex-member supergroup, except for John Howard because he's still doing Threat Signal, but sort of like this ex-members of bands supergroup all kind of formed together and created this Monolith. And I'm actually gonna I think it should be fine. I'm gonna pull up a little bit of their music video, just give you an idea of what they sound like. They're very modern. Melodic metal, that's kind of their style, and I think it's something that that people are going to enjoy. I'm a Monolith fan for sure. So let's pull them up here. We're gonna play just a little bit of their music, give you guys a taste, and I'll to give you an idea why I'm so excited for the next album or EP.
Another day in hell just brings me down. I'm moving up from this. Time to fix me now. Feel it in me, you feel it in me. It's racing through my blood and grinding at my teeth. Take it from me, just take it from me. This world is just lies and deceit. Small, no more reality. I'm still alive. Kill it in me, you kill it in me. I will overcome. Wake up in this endless nightmare. Another day in hell just brings me down. I'm moving up from this. Time to fix me now. Walk along this endless journey, never knowing which way's up or down. I'm moving up from this. Time to wake up now.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah,
Dude.
that's a Monolith. And we were talking about catchy, right? That's kind of what they have the soft vocals there. Comment from Jason though about a Monolith is I hope it's heavier than their first. Not knocking it, but a little more raw would be good. So Jason wants more raw. So we should reach out to the band and let them know. Hey guys, make sure you write more raw into this album. Make it a little heavier. They might though. Honestly, based on 2020. Well, we have 2021, which is pretty happy. But the Dumpster Fire that was 2020. I almost assume there would be some heaviness there, just based on the kind of year. So hopefully that inspires them. And then, Nathan, maybe there's some delay on the comments from the from YouTube, I think, because it seems like the Twitch one's coming fast, the Facebook one's coming fast. But positive spin on a cautionary tale. So he was talking about the news story we talked about way earlier. So man, it must be delay then. Raw is a technical term, says Jason. Raw is a technical term. It's a vocal term. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. This song is actually the song we were listening to, the Instinct, actually talks about dealing with depression. So it's kind of a running theme for tonight. And I just wanted to let folks know that, no matter where you are, you can probably find different hotlines, people you can reach out to. If you don't have, if you have trouble reaching out to friends or family, it's hard to talk about things because this stuff is hard to talk about. There are services available most places. Where we are here in Alberta, there is the here I'm going to pull this up because I just want to let people know, because this has been a tough year for folks. There's a mental health helpline that you can call here in Alberta. It's 24/7, so you can give that a call, reach out to someone. There's nurses, psychiatric nurses, social workers, occupational therapists, and psychologists available all the time to talk to. So even if you're having trouble reaching out to a friend or a family member or someone you care about, if you're struggling to be vulnerable, you can be vulnerable to someone you've never met, which is actually easier. It's actually a lot easier. Trust me. I myself do go to counseling on occasion. It's not all the time, but I've been a number of times myself, and it's very helpful. It's been very helpful for my personal things that I've had to work through. I'm sure everyone has things to work through. So I just want to bring that up. That's a positive spin too, is when you talk about Marco's story from earlier, and when we talk about mental health, the mental health of these protesters, or not protesters, I just should say insurgents. Talking about mental health, at least it brings awareness to those issues. So cautionary tale indeed. So a monolith, and speaking of a monolith, I was chatting. The reason I'm also excited is the fact that I got to interview them back in my radio days. This was I'm going to pull up just a little bit of this video. I won't play the whole interview, but it was just really cool to sit down with these boys. The interview is with Ryan Van Puteroyen. Oh, I better not get his name wrong, because I actually couldn't pronounce his last name during the interview, and he gave me shit. He bugged me for it. It was funny. So John Howard, the vocalist and the drummer. So John Howard of Threat Signal and Ryan Van Puteroyen is how you say his name. It's spelt. There's a reason I couldn't pronounce the damn thing. It's spelt Poederoyen. What do you think of that, Vito?
That's too many letters. What's his background?
Good question. I don't know. I don't know. Some sort of Scandinavian background. I'm assuming. I'm assuming though, based on that kind of name. So my old show, Rock Bottom. This is if it wasn't for Rock Bottom, there wouldn't be a Wiki Wally webcast, and it wasn't for CGSW, there wouldn't be either. So it's a little bit of a further look back. Rock Bottom did end in 2020. Oh, it didn't end. Sorry, I left it in 2020. It's still going. My co-host Laws is still doing the show. Yeah. Sorry, it feels like it ended because I'm not part of it anymore. But my life with Rock Bottom ended. It's still going on. My co-host who's still doing the show now by herself. Her name's Laws, and she's still doing a killer job of the show. But she's a metal woman. I also have Ryan. Oh my lord! How the heck do I say your last name? Okay, we're gonna give it a shot.
You gotta try it.
Oh, Ryan Van Podurian.
Oh, that's
nope. Fail. Epic fail.
I'm joking. Okay, no, it's Van Puteroyen.
Van Puteroyen. On another note, look at that beard.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Look at my beard, man. It's so much facial hair back then. Oh man, it kept me so warm. But yeah, honestly, by the end of this interview, these guys were laughing and joking. We had a blast. They enjoyed the interview. These guys were super friendly. Like, they were friendly, jokey. They enjoyed it, and I'm just a community radio guy, and that was a fantastic interview. That was fun. That was awesome. Really solid, nice dudes. I mean, Canadian dudes, right? So, so excited for their new album. Like Jason says, needs more raw, but a little more raw. Their new EP, I should say, in 2020. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm going to turn over to you now, Vito. What's something you're looking forward to in 2021? And to the chat as well. Anyone here?
Well.
Oh, Jason, it was cold. It was cold that day. Beards were required. Yeah,
totally. Well, Mr. Wally, I looked up some albums that are coming out this year.
Oh, nice.
And your favorite band is putting out an album.
Into Eternity?
Wasp.
Oh, Wasp. Damn you. I don't. Okay, for the record, I don't hate Wasp. I just don't get why they're so loved. I just don't get the love for them. I don't like. I think they're fine. I just don't. People just love Wasp. Like, they go crazy for them, and I don't get that. Is there anyone in the chat here who loves Wasp?
I just love teasing you about Wasp. I just love it. But yeah, actually, Wasp has an album coming out. to be honest, not excited about it, but
okay, fair enough.
I'll listen to it. I know it's not going to be that good, but it'll be okay.
So why? All right, fair enough.
But Red Fang's supposed to be coming out with something.
Oh,
I really love them. I seen them at Dickens once. Oh,
Red Fang. Yeah, I interviewed Brian Giles at Heavy Montreal.
That's right.
Yeah, Brian, he is awesome. He's like the nicest dude ever. And that interview was great. He has his he loves PBR. He had his PBR hat on, Pop's Blue Ribbon hat on. And he's a person who kind of put in perspective musicians for me, because heavy metal musicians, they try to be so badass and they wear the armor and they're warriors. And he says we're just musicians. Like if you go back to the days where there were warriors and Vikings and knights and all that stuff, we were the guys wearing the leotards. We were the guys in the tights playing the fiddles and the, you know what I mean? Like that's who we really are. We're musicians. We're artists. We're not as badass as we try to make ourselves out to be. And it was just a really awesome comment from Brian. Fantastic band. Really awesome. Good. Really good.
Live.
Yeah.
Awesome. Everything. And Paul Bear is supposed to have something coming out. Montana got Paul Bear.
Nice.
I love them. They're pretty sweet. So yeah, those are 2 albums. I think Creator's supposed to come out with one.
Nice.
Architects coming out with an album. I know my best bud Paul would be into that. Not an Architects fan. Not into that.
I've listened to him before. I like him. I like Architects. I don't listen to him often. It's sort of like I'll check him out for maybe a little. I've checked him out a couple times, and yeah, this is good. But there's nothing that's drawn me back to it. So yeah.
I think I've been like forced to listen to so much Architects with my best bud Paul.
Oh, okay. I'm
just like over Architects.
That's enough.
Okay, I've heard this like album 6 times now. No.
Okay, maybe I'll throw it over to me for one quick pick. Yeah. This one shouldn't take too long. W.M.D. Calgary's W.M.D. They're a thrash metal band, and the new W.M.D. EP is nearing completion. Interviewed these guys before. They're young guys, super talented. The one of the guitarists is actually a member of Ravenous as well. So we talked about Ravenous earlier. So he's kind of he's a member of both bands. Yeah, excited for that. Some really great thrash metal. I like my thrash metal, so that'll be coming out this year. I'm also looking forward to some Hammer Drone coming out. So right now there's a post. Oh, this is from Graham, but the band posted this as well. He's the lead vocalist of the band, Graham Harris. Is this something you wanted me to pull up here?
Oh, I'll show you that. These guys are coming out with a new album too. They're like a really cool Mongolian fiddle singing.
Oh, right. I have heard of this. What's the name? What's the name of the band?
The Who? H.U.
Right. Yep. I've heard of them before. Yeah, I've cranked them multiple times. I've listened to the music multiple times. Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of groovy. It's fun. It's catchy. It's got that catchiness to it. So yeah, definitely pretty freaking sweet.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were
No. That's okay. That's okay. Hey, we got to talk about it. So we got 5 people in the viewing right now. Not metal, said Jason in the chat. So yeah, what are you folks looking forward to in 2021 as well? Jason says, not metal, but Frontline Assembly has a new one later this month. Stoked for that. Frontline Assembly. I don't know that band actually. No. Jay says Evergrey. Oh, Evergrey has a new one coming. They're always solid. Evergrey is always solid. Yeah, I haven't listened to some Evergrey for a while now. I'm kind of. It's been a while, but some solid music. Evergrey. So that's a good one. The Who. Frontline Assembly is electro industrial. Okay, cool.
Oh,
cool. Very cool. So yeah, Hammer Drone, they're trying to raise money now because they want to have their EP professionally mastered or mixed and mastering for the EP professionally. Yeah, which would be great because they've recorded some stuff on their own, which the recordings are kind of just okay. They're an amazing band. Like if you see them play live, they're a very very entertaining band, very talented. They sound great live, but you don't get that experience unless things are produced really well on the album. So I'm happy to hear they're trying to do this anyway. So yeah, go support them. Go to the Bandcamp page. Again, the band is Hammer Drone. Actually, let's check out a little Hammer Drone just so folks have an idea what they sound like. I am guaranteed Graham will not mind me playing some of their music on the show. So let's do that. This is a video of theirs. I think it's a good video of theirs. We're going to throw this up. And you guys will understand why I'm pumped. It's almost like being at a live show.
Dude, the closest thing we'll get to a long time.
What are you saying, Vito?
The closest thing we'll get to a live show for a long time.
Right. I think that's that raw that Jason was talking about in the chat earlier.
So. Absolutely. Look at how like stationary the drummer looks,
right?
But he's just wailing, like he's like perfect, like posture. He's just like he looks like he's barely moving, but he's pumping.
Right. Their music never gets boring too. There's constant changes. It's oh, he's so intense. Graham is so intense when he plays live. So these guys actually, it was a couple years back, were the finalists in the Calgary Vakken Metal Battle. So they were considered the best in Calgary for the metal battle that year. Well deserved. This band is a band you must see live. Live is the best. And the thing is, I remember I was one of the judges for the Vakken Metal Battle, and that's they get a chance to go to Germany once they compete in the Canadian national competition. They didn't win the nationals. They went out east to Toronto. They didn't win that round. They went out to Toronto to compete in Toronto and go against their winner. And the two of them would battle and try to get to Germany. Anyway, so they didn't actually make it all the way. But anyway, I was judging, and I was like, oh, okay, this band's so much above the rest in terms of their performance for that last night, right? So it's just they were just on point. Nothing went wrong. They were doing so well. I was actually making goofy faces at Graham, and he's got this like intense look, like. Right? It's just so like just dead, like angry stare, and he was staring like right through me. I was making all these funny faces to him, and I was like, didn't flinch. I'll leave it a little bit. So I'm like, man, yeah, this is our winner this year. I mean, that wasn't the only criteria, obviously, but it was definitely a factor in my judging. Be like, man, these guys are so professional that even a goofy guy in the crowd isn't going to make a difference. So we do see some stuff in the chat. Maybe there's a delay on the YouTube chat messages. So I apologize for those watching on YouTube if there's a delay, but we will get to your messages anyway. Diane says in the chat, talking about Alexei Leho, he did lots in his younger life. This is a great thing to be remembered by. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, totally agree. Great comment. Thanks for that. And a bunch of hearts too as well. Thank you so much, Diane. All right. So that was my Hammer drone. Excited for that. Oh, and speaking of the merch, so I actually commented on here, any merch for sale? And sure enough, then they decided to actually sell. They actually said, "Oh, we do have some stuff left," because I'm like, I could buy their music, but I'd much rather have some merchandise. So I actually bought 2 things from them, 2 shirts from them, some from the remaining merchandise. They didn't have much left, but I got a couple things. They have a few things up on their Bandcamp page for whatever's left. You can go check that out as well. Yeah, I got a couple things. You'll see me wearing them. I got a long sleeve and a short sleeve. I'll be wearing those on a future episode because I absolutely will rep some Hammer Drone. They are a solid band. All right.
I'm just going to step out for 2 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Go into the washroom.
Okay, Vito's got to pee. So then I'm going to talk to 2021 here. So folks in the chat, again, if there's anything here, I guess we're getting some stuff from people what they're looking forward to in 2021. That's what we're talking about right now. We're going to look back on 2020 in a little bit and look on some positive things from 2020. We talked about a bunch of negative stuff in the news, but in terms of other stuff I'm looking for, now I'm talking to the audience. There's some other stuff I'm looking for besides Hammer Drone. This is a really cool project. This is the drummer of Skullfist. His name's JJ Tartaglia. Tartaglia. JJ Tartaglia. His name's hard to say. I'm bad with last names. JJ, he's a drummer of the band Skullfist. And you might have heard of Skullfist. They're a power metal kind of rock power metal band from out east, from Toronto, I believe. They are an absolutely fantastic band. Ton of followers, very, very successful band out of Toronto. But I'm excited for them. They have coming up, if you can see this okay. Yeah, full. No, that's not gonna look good. Yeah, this photo's not coming through. There we go. So JJ, again, he's a drummer of Skullfist, and he's got a new project coming out called Thunderroar. And I'm excited for this for two reasons. One, and did you meet JJ when he was here in Calgary? No. He's actually also one of the organizers of the Vakken Metal Battle, so all kind of ties into what I was just talking about. Yes, Vakken Metal Battle Canada. He is one of the main organizers for that. So he actually flew out to Calgary when we had the national finals in Calgary just over a year ago. So yeah, he's a solid dude, and he's a drummer, but I'm excited for this because they show some videos of them doing recording. There's no snippets of it yet, but they're working on it. He's singing. So he's drumming and singing at the same time. So that is cool. And that's why I'm excited to hear what it's going to sound like and what it's like. And I was already messaging him. He is super on board with coming on the webcast, talking about this new project. I didn't reach out to him for Skullfist. I want to know about this new project. Skullfist is doing, I would love to have Skullfist on the show too, don't get me wrong. But this is something new, something interesting. And I always kind of like to get the scoop on things when they're new and brand new and shiny. So I'm pretty excited, and I mean they look pretty metal there with the bullet belt.
In Toronto, right?
Correct.
Toronto
Yeah,
band?
That's right. Yeah. You're right, Vito. Yeah, so new Skullfist and a potential new guest on the show. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Vito, I'll turn it back over to you. You said there's some good albums coming out. What else do you got for us? Yeah, 2021.
I can't remember. I have to look at my notes.
You're allowed to do that. I can do my last entry while you're collecting yourself.
I was gonna say that. Oh,
you're free.
Internet just the poop.
Yeah.
Come on, internet.
We need to buy you an Ethernet cable. It's called an Ethernet cable. It's like it plugs into your computer and then into your. You need a long one of those.
Here we go.
Your Wi-Fi sucks.
I have one. Yeah, I have one, but my PlayStation is plugged into it, and I have to move everything.
You need one long enough though to go from your living room into your kitchen where you're shooting this from right now,
which isn't that far.
Right, you need a longer one. Yeah.
I'm gonna. The next episode, I'll have one.
Ethernet cable. Okay, all right. Because my shit's not broken, actually. Look, we're an hour and a half in almost, and nothing is frozen. Nothing has gone down. Wally has fixed his streaming problems. I'm pretty damn sure. I figured out. I tweaked a bunch of stuff, system resource stuff in my streaming application, so it wouldn't crash. We're still running. And there's 8 people watching, and we're not getting kicked out tonight, so that's awesome. Oh, some more stuff in the chat. Let's see there. Frozen Vito, says Jay. Oh, there he goes. You just jinxed it. Okay, Vito, you had some more albums to talk about for 2021?
Just like one that I'm not really sure if it's actually going to happen.
Oh, okay.
But the 80s band Lat.
Whoa. Well, that okay.
The last album they put out was like in 2010. But
I dig it. That'd be great.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That's like kind of what started me in metal, was like that 80s, like kind of like hair metal, like hard rock, like Wasp. And
I don't hate Wasp.
Dio. I know.
Go ahead.
But like the hard rock stuff. So that's kind of what got me into, started me in, like I was classic rock, and then I progressed into like the 80s hard rock, into like 80s hair metal. I loved Motley Crue.
Yeah.
And then
keep going. I need 2 seconds.
Yeah, do it. And then it was Childhood and Bodom was like a big band. That's what got me into metal.
For me, it was In Flames was kind of the band that kind of started getting me into heavier stuff.
That's cool, because you got to interview them too.
Right? Yeah, it's probably I got to meet the whole band. I mean, it's not the original lineup anymore, all of them, but that interview was pretty solid. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, that was kind of.
Anders Frieden. I got to interview Anders, and he was solid. It was great because at first he didn't really care who I was. By the interview, at the end of the interview, he was really friendly, and then even after we hung out at Pin Bar a bit later and played some pinball and stuff. So he was and I think at first he's kind of I think he's an introvert. I think he's introverted.
Probably.
I think he's introverted. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, just he has to be extroverted on stage. That's his persona on stage, and when he sings and when he's performing. But he was kind of shy. And it was really refreshing almost to have someone that famous and that well known for that big of a band, and be able to interview him and have him shy and then open up and start talking about things. There's a couple questions where he's like, I don't know if I want to answer. Like, oh, you don't have to answer that. He's like, okay, I will. and he started going on to some personal things too, asked him some not like deep personal questions, but just stuff about, having a family and what it's like having to tour and having a family. And he went into it and he explained how he makes it work and stuff. And that was just really interesting stuff. I don't think people ask metal performers very often, like, how do you balance family life and being a musician and stuff like that. And it was a really cool answer, and it tied into the music we were talking about. And so it's always great. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. Anyways, what else? I have only one more thing on my list for looking forward to. There's probably more things, but this is on my list for looking forward to in 2021. Yeah.
Like, I don't know of any, like, for sure, of many local bands that are putting out stuff next year, but there's going to be some awesome music coming out.
Oh, yeah.
With all this time to, like, sit down, all these bands.
Right.
So I'm excited to see what happens to the local scene when or if things open up in 2021.
Right.
So
yeah, me too.
It'd be nice to kind of see people with new music, right?
Yep,
I think
absolutely.
there's a lot of good music out of it.
Absolutely. All right, last but definitely not least on my list for what I am looking forward to in 2021 is actually a guest I'm going to be having on the show in the near future. I've already talked about it on some previous episodes, but I'm excited for it. And this is Nate Reno coming on the show. Big Nate. He's wearing an American flag shirt he's not American. He's actually a Calgarian as well. But it's just funny. Around the same time, he also created his own show. Getting Late with Nate is the name of the show. He streams the show. It's a streaming show as well. It's kind of like this, but different. He's got his own thing. But yeah. So we had a chat and stuff. He's gonna come on the show. He's gonna interview me for his show, which I'm actually super stoked for because I've never been interviewed before. So that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool. I'll get to talk about myself. It's going to be kind of weird, but he's going to interview me, and then he's going to come on the webcast as well, and we're gonna do some chin wagging, as my old co-host used to say. So some chin wagging. Some chin wagging, and Nate, he's a funny guy. He always posts like weird things about like gross food, and he likes talking about Bitcoin, and I don't know. But he's also he's part of the music scene. So the reason I'm having Nate on is because he is part of the music scene. He interviews artists as well and musicians. He kind of goes. He's not just metal, but he's definitely involved in the metal scene. He's a sound technician, so he does live sound for bands and that kind of stuff. That's his background, and also part of the Calgary Metal Fest. He put that together. So there was a metal festival in Calgary. It was in multiple venues. He's one of the organizers for main organizers for that. There's, I believe, 2 at least. So yeah, he's an interesting dude. He's funny, and he's got a lot to say. So I think it'll be fun to have him on the show. So that's my list.
I love his green screen. He sits behind in front of one. All kinds of fun stuff he puts on. I've watched Woodhawk play. Speaking of Woodhawk, they played for his show, I believe.
Yes, yeah.
He did a live little. I don't know how they did it.
He's been doing live recordings. They have I forget where their studio space is, but because he's a sound dude, he's actually organized a lot of live band recordings. So some bands have been doing it themselves. They on their own. Yeah. Either their own setup or whatever, they record stuff and then or they do a live stream kind of thing. His are not live streams, I don't believe. They're recorded and then they're played on the show, so they're not actual live streams. But yeah, he's been doing that too, which is pretty damn sick. That's something that I kind of wish I could do, but maybe in a very distant future, I think would be a cool addition to the webcast. But we need to find a sound guy who wants to do that kind of stuff. Yeah, I know you do. That's why I said that. And time and energy to put together a studio space for bands, and not COVID.
That too.
And not COVID. Yeah. So 7 people view watching. There's people coming in and coming out. Thanks for tuning in. If someone just tuned in, we're talking about highlights from the stuff we're looking forward to in 2021 and stuff that from 2020. So I want to look back now to 2020, and it was a dumpster fire of sorts. There it is again. It says 2021. It was a bit of a dumpster fire. Hopefully, it's a little bit nicer this year. The vaccine's coming out, and people are getting it, and hopefully, complete civil war doesn't break out in the United States. That kind of gets nipped in the bud, hopefully, but we'll see. But 2020, it wasn't all bad. And the reason it wasn't all bad is because I got to start this crazy fun show. I got to start doing this. It happened. It's something, this, what you're seeing here. Oh, well, not Nate again. This, what you're seeing here, what we're doing, and this studio space I wanted to put together. All of this is a vision of mine I've had for a long time. Even when I was on the radio, it's like, this is kind of what I wanted it to be, but I just never had the courage to go on my own or do my own thing, and I finally decided to do it. I finally said, okay, I'm going to leave the radio, even though it's a good gig and it's a good thing. Well, it's an unpaid volunteer thing, but it's a great place to be. I wanted to do my own thing, and I didn't want to do the crazy late nights anymore either. So I wanted to be able to balance my life a little bit better, because that was very hard to do when you have a live radio show. This is actually a little bit less work because it's my own home studio and I have everything kind of set up in my own way all the time. So, but this. So let's look back. I want to look back at some highlights from 2020. I actually cut together a trailer. Vito, you got to see this trailer.
Yeah.
I got to cut together a trailer full of highlights. This is something I want to unleash into the world. I have some plans for it. So this is the first time you're ever going to see it. You'll probably see it on the social media at a later time. But this has some cool highlights. And Vito, feel free in chiming in. We can make comments. We can pause. We can talk about, because this is just basically a highlight reel from this past year. And I thought we'd all check it out together. That'd be a great way to look back on the fun that we had on this show. Here, I'm going to... We're doing this show live because the most important part of the show is not the studio we're in, it's you. We want to hear your questions, your feedback.
So good.
All right. So what's going on here? I love doing that. So before, you just saw Hyperia. They were excellent guests, and that was my favorite part of the show when we asked her about that scream she does, and they're talking about where they shot the music video, and there's a bunch of pigeon shit everywhere. That was a lot of fun, that interview with Hyperia, Calgary's Hyperia. Actually, Vancouver, I should say. Vancouver's Hyperia, because they moved. But this was fun. Yeah. And normally I don't go through people's personal Instagram pages. I find that'd be like a personal boundary I shouldn't cross as a personal stuff. But on their band page, they all posted their personal Instagram right at the very top. It's like they want you to click on it. So I'm like, okay, this is fair game now. And this is my favorite thing I pulled out. I pulled out like every band member's Instagram, and thankfully Greg Greggins was one of the guys who jumped on the interview, because this is him. And I thought it was like a kid's party or something. He's dressed like a fairy. Maybe it's for like, you know, his niece or something like that. But no, it was like, this is like an adult party he was at. There was lots of drinking and yeah. It was a fairy themed adult party. So it's not as innocent as I thought it was. Okay, let's keep going. This again, a lot of fun stuff from this past year. Jeff Loomis, he guest solos on Thunderbird. How do you know Jeff?
And I promised I would tease him about his tree trunk of a penis.
Oh, wow. Okay. I promised I would tease him about his tree. Jeff Loomis, so very well-known guitarist, does a solo on the album, and on the first track of the album, Jeff Loomis does a solo on that, and yeah, DJ was hilarious. The whole interview was freaking hilarious. DJ was just cracking jokes the whole time, and that was probably my best reaction when he was talking about his tree trunk of a penis. So that was fun. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. So okay, we'll keep going.
So.
Oh wow, this is. By the way, that was he's from Vancouver's Without Mercy. Killer bands. Their album Seismic came out this past year. Go if you didn't see that episode, if you haven't checked it out, I strongly recommend checking that out. Brutal. The Dunker. That was a fun show. That was my favorite part of the show, because everyone just like you guys couldn't control your laughter because of how bad my joke was. The joke was, because you don't get it from the clip from the trailer, but there was an underground recording studio where Osiren recorded this video that we were seeing, and also the music as well. So they're recording this video, and it's underneath a garage, I believe they said, underneath the ground.
I think that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
And they called it Studio. It's a bunker, right? But they called it Studio D. That's what they call this bunker. So I'm like, well, if it's Studio D and it's a bunker, shouldn't it be called the Dunker? It's just a horrible,
so bad.
Horrible joke. Horrible joke. And like, also the same episode we were chatting about the and you guys should go check this out. All these episodes are still up on YouTube. We're talking about the cows, because there was cows mooing when they were recording one of their music videos, and the whole show we were talking about, like, we were doing like this action, talking about milking cows. Poor Montana was just like red in the face the whole time when we were joking about this. Oh, we're losing viewers. Oh no, is it just because it's late? Probably because it's late. We're losing some folks. Yeah, we're losing some folks probably because it's late.
I love you, Wally.
I love you, Wally. I had to throw that in there too, because you're just like, yeah, I know you're a big dork, but I love you anyway, so it's great.
Yeah, because that's what you do when you break bones. You sing some tunes.
Like an act.
My favorite quote from Jason from every episode. That's what you do when you break some bones. You sing some tunes. I had to put that in there. Like, that's my favorite thing he's probably said on the whole show.
He looks like Scott Ian. Whoa.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so Jason's comments is these guys are talking about the wheel, the Catherine's braid. It's braiding somebody on a wagon wheel as a torture device. It was like from the medieval times, and they're explaining it to us. And they sing while they're doing this torture, and they sing songs while they're doing torture. And then Jason's like, "That's what you do when you break bones. You sing some tunes." So it's pretty good. It was a pretty solid comment.
Solo of some sort.
Sure.
Propped on a pole, which is one of the lyrics from the song.
So that was a band, Sadistic Embodiment, from Edmonton. Absolutely fantastic death metal band from there. This was a fun moment.
This is my favorite.
This is the first episode ever of the show, actually.
This is my. I knew that. Oh, love it.
Yeah, this had to be in here. I was asking the guys to show me tattoos because I was commenting on someone else's tattoos, and then this was totally unexpected.
Instead of a skull and crossbones, I got a...
Artist.
What you don't see in the trailer is they had some bad Wi-Fi like Vito does tonight, and we were looking at the it froze. Their Skype call completely froze up, and we on his gut. So Vito and I were like, and the stream, we're staring at this for a good solid 5 minutes until we recovered the stream, and we were laughing the whole time. So yeah, that was a good moment.
Artist.
Oh my God, this is cool. Yeah. So the goal then of the pentagram is what, to get to the center of the pentagram. JP Wood, man, he created this board game back in the 90s. This thing was an HMV. It was all over the place. This episode's still available, by the way. Go check out on YouTube. Yeah, he really, this is a really cool thing. I mean, some of the questions are older now, so you have to, it hasn't been updated because it came out in the 90s, but it's a trivia board game. It's hard. It's very hard. I have a copy of it thanks to JP. He still has a few left. He's still selling them. If you want to reach out to him, he'll sell you a copy. These things are awesome. They go sell on eBay for like $200 or something like that, and he's like, no, don't pay that. I was like, I forget what he's charging for it, but it's substantially less for that. It's pretty much what they were worth when he was selling them a long time ago. So yeah, so JP Wood, host of Megawatt Mayhem, heavy metal radio show that's been going on for 36 years, I think now, or 30, well over 30, yeah, 35 or 36 years now. Yeah, so
same time slot.
Same time, No, it's moved around. Yeah, he's after midnight now. It's not the same time slot anymore. No. They were 10 to 12, and now he's midnight till 3 in the morning. He's doing a 3-hour show now, so he's actually made it longer since he took over as a full-time host. He was co-host. He's been doing a show for about 25 years. So he wasn't the original founder of Megawatt Mayhem, but he's still keeping it alive. Or where are you going?
Go from there, and whoever gets to 666 points first wins.
Yeah, just listen to his. You can tell he's a radio guy, man. Just listen to his voice. It's just like it's just buttery. Okay. It's just a buttery voice. He's been doing it for so many years. I love JP, and definitely check out Megawatt Mayhem. Oh, I got a chance. I should post this because this past year he invited me to be part of his 2020 year in review show. And I actually was able to contribute three different songs, and I recorded some clips for it as well. And he played it on the episode of me talking, and yeah. So I actually should share that. I had before it disappears on their website. That episode. So it's pretty entertaining. It's like a top 20. He gets a bunch of his friends from the metal scene to come together and give their top. They each picked three picks. I picked a Without Mercy track. I picked a track from Osiren, and then also what was my third pick now? I also picked a song from War. We saw a clip of them earlier, War from Raleigh, North Carolina. So I picked those bands because I always like repping the lesser knowns when I do stuff. So,
this was a great episode.
Yes.
Double middle fingers.
We filmed this. Jesse went to see Aqua at K-Days, and he didn't have
Aqua. Not a metal band, not a heavy band, Aqua. He went to see Aqua.
at the K-Days,
at
too.
At K-Days.
Time. And he was covered in cake. He said he was reaching up and like grabbing cake from behind his ear and
That Osiren episode was full of bangers, and biggest part of that too is the fact that both you and Montana were here for a show. Once this COVID thing clears up a bit, I gotta have you guys back because that made for such a great show with you, all three of us, me telling my bad jokes. Because to be fair, Christoph and Tyler, they were great guests, but they're not the most talkative guys. That show was made. I think that show we made it. They have really great content, really funny stuff. So it gave us a lot of fodder for that episode. Their videos have some funny music videos and stuff. But I think that just showed how lucky I am, honestly, how lucky I am to have you, Vito, and Montana, Jason as well, but to have you guys as part of my team doing this as co-hosts, as adding color commentary. If it was just me, the show wouldn't be nearly as good. You guys helped really help it a lot.
On it.
So
it it was wild because it was my first time ever meeting Montana that day.
Right.
And we just like boom,
clicked. Right.
Okay,
the chemistry was just all there. Yeah. We were all. Yeah. It was just. It worked so well, and I was still kind of learning the ropes then. Like if we do that again, it'll be even better because I'm more comfortable with all this shit that I got to do live. Like I'm switching cameras and stuff while we're talking. Now I'm just it's kind of second nature now, so it's a lot better. I can joke a lot more. I think we'd have some pretty killer episodes to have you guys back. Maybe get Jason in the mix. Try mixing, you and Jason, bringing Jason in there, mixing it up with you guys. I think it'd be pretty cool once we're allowed to, once it's not illegal. So yeah, right here, this is they're riffing on a really popular YouTube video called I forget what it is. It's like if you go into YouTube and you search for it, I don't want to get dinged, but if you look for in YouTube, I'm going to pull this up. If you look for this is what they're talking about. We didn't pull it up during the show, but now I'm thinking we can. We just can't show it. But please go look at this. We'll play a second of it. You just type in song. There we go. Song. There we go. There we go. And then there's the whole song, and then there's a clip. So let's play a little bit of this. And this is what they're making fun of. Oh, here it's just. I don't care about your ad. We'll go back to the trailer for a second while that's going through. So this is. So the mountains that Reed, their lead vocalist in the mountains there.
Amazing.
Vito, is that your first time watching that?
That's the first time watching it.
Oh my god, dude. I think that was
Oh, that's really
So yeah, do all those things. Subscribe, subscribe. Stream us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitch. Here's the clip. I'm gonna mute it for just a second. Here, let's see. You gotta watch the whole thing. You gotta watch the whole thing. Yeah. Song. All right, man. I was gonna do some reviews tonight. There's still a few more highlights I want to talk about. Well, we had the show with Hyperia. We talked about that. So that was my 2020 positive. Like there was definitely some. There's other positives in my personal life too, but in terms of music, it was getting to get this going, get this started.
Absolutely, yeah. Like no time like the present. It was kind of perfect timing, although
not
more people are at home.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
But no, it was a long time coming. I'm stoked you actually did it.
Well, we only have about 4 folks left, but I don't know, Vito. How you feeling? Do you want to move on to some reviews?
We could. Why not?
Yeah, you know what? Let's just do it anyway. Might as well. Because I think these reviews that we're going to talk about here are going to end things on a nice, positive note at the end. Yeah, totally. Let's do this. Let's do this. Time for some reviews.
Let's do this.
Yeah, that's right. My old radio days, I used to say, let's do this all the time when I'm about to play a song. Honestly, that was just my filler word. I needed something to say while I was like pushing more buttons or like messing with the mixer or something. So I'd be like, let's. So it just give me a second to think, so it wouldn't be so awkward or there wouldn't be like weird silences or whatever. So I would use that word all the time, but it's good people like it. Yeah, let's do this.
And you can extend it.
Yeah, let's do this. Yeah. You get more time. I get your guest to say it too, and yeah. So it was my catchphrase. I don't say it as much on this show because we don't really throw the music in the same way. So, but maybe I'll bring it back. Maybe I got to bring it back. Let's do this. Yeah. So for our reviews, our first review for tonight, and I'm actually going to spin it over to you, Vito, because you know the most about this band. So, yeah, we're going to talk about this. The band that was supposed to be on tonight's show. Like I said at the beginning, when you have lemons, make lemonade. But because of COVID, this band had kind of thought they were going to be able. All 3 members were going to be able to be on the show, but they're from Toronto. They are an instrumental progressive metal band, a trio, 3 of them, and they're out of Toronto. I already said that. Toronto's in the same state as we are here in Alberta, where you can't see people. It's illegal to have people at your house that aren't like don't live at your house unless you're single and you have like, I mean, you know, there's all those rules. We don't have to talk about that right now, but you can't they couldn't see each other and they just didn't realize that. And we can only have so many incoming calls. Plus, if we do too many calls, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be like if anyone's done the holiday Zoom meeting with the technical issues, can you hear me now? Can you do this now? Can you hear me now? I want to avoid that on this show at all costs. That's not going to make for a very entertaining show if we have like 10 people with technical issues trying to all talk at the same time on a Skype call. That's not going to be good. So there's limits, and there's also limits in terms of what I can do with this view, so it doesn't look so it looks good. So I have limits, and they're like, yeah, we all want to come on together. So they canceled. They're like, yeah, we decided as a band it's got to be all three of us, or we're not going to do it. So and that's their choice, and that's fine. And you know what? I still think they put out some cool music. I still want to take a look at it. And let's do an honest review, because when they're here, we're going to be pretty nice to them because they're our guests and they're dialing in. And we're still going to be, because I picked my favorite track on the album, so I'm going to be nice because I like this song. But let's give an honest and fair review of their song. And this is Devouring Saturn from Toronto. Vito, you have some history with the band. I'll throw over to you for a second.
Yeah, so I went to school with the lead guitarist, who I believe he writes most of the music, or it's probably collaborative. But we started playing guitar at the same time, and he just became amazing.
It's definitely collaborative, because they didn't want to leave anybody out of the interview.
Oh, for sure.
That's got to be a strong thing. I'm almost wondering, they actually had four members of the band somewhat recently, and they went down to 3. So I'm almost wondering if there was something there where maybe someone was trying to steal the show. Do you know what I mean? Trying to steal the spotlight. Sure. I don't know. It's tough to say. You don't know. I'm really curious what happened there, but it's good. They're deciding to do things together, which is awesome. Anyway, I'll throw it back to you, man.
Yeah, no. I went to school with Robbie. He was in my kindergarten class, I believe, and then he moved out to Toronto when we were going into grade 10. So that was like pretty rough, but then he just like hunkered down and played music and made music his life, and he teaches guitar now and does a bunch of like cool recordings and stuff. So
cool.
Yeah, I was super stoked to have them on, but I mean, things don't work out all the time, especially in these odd times. So
if it wasn't for COVID, we'd have all 3 of them, and they'd be chatting about their music and stuff, and it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
and I'd probably be in studio with you. And
Yep, it'd be a very different show. But you know what? I think this is fun. This is still fun tonight.
Yeah, this was good.
Let's check out their let's check out their song. This was a song. They have a bunch of their songs up on YouTube, Spotify. You can. I think they're on Bandcamp as well. You can support them there. This is the song track for me that was a standout track. I liked it because there was a lot of differences, like a lot of changes in it. I find instrumental music needs to have a lot of variety for me to want to listen to it. So Formula Infinity. It's the first track on the album. Vito, would you agree this is a strong track because you've listened to it?
Yeah, it's a good one. This one and whatever the second track is called, I never pay attention to.
That's okay. All right, let's check some of it out. And folks in the chat, we only have 2 people left. All right, it's just you and I, buddy. You tell me what you what you think of the song.
The riffs so heavy.
Saying the riffs are so heavy?
Yeah, like not just heavy, but so technical, man. Like he plays like a 7 or 8 string guitar.
Oh, wow.
Like watching him play is just mind boggling.
Right. I like that a lot.
Tempo's going up. little sludgy.
Yeah, sludgy. Yeah, definitely.